Hello and welcome back to another episode of Bantz Lawrencia. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing great. For today's episode, we're going to be discussing polygamy or double adultery, and this is the case of Edochie, Edochie, and their polygamous counterpart, Regina Daniels, and her husband, Ned Nwoko. Now, this conversation started. Let me just give you a bit of a background between the two couples, or estranged couples, in terms of Yul and Edochie. Now, Yul Edochie met his wife May. They started dating. She got pregnant. According to what he said, the family kind of forced them to get married because Edochie is a staunch Catholic, and he said he didn't want his grandchild born out of wedlock, allegedly. So, and the two families were very good friends. Edochie and the father of Edochie were very close. So it was kind of a family affair. They got together, they got married, and started living together. Now, this marriage was over almost 20 years when everything unraveled. According to the story, Yul Edochie started dating Judy Austin when he went for movie production in Oka. He met Judy, who was married to Mr. Obasi. That was over 10 years ago. So he met Judy, liked her. Judy was trying to get into Nollywood. She saw Yul Edochie as her golden ticket. She left her husband, ran after Yul. The husband had cried online several times regarding his, because they had two children. Now, when this whole thing was going on, Judy at that point had already gotten pregnant for Yul and had a child. So it was just Lover that decided he was going to leak the secrets, that because previously Yul ran for the presidential election. He was, campaigning to run for the presidential election. So just Lover said he was going to they were going to release evidence that Yul had gotten somebody pregnant. Before you could say Jack, Yul actually came out, owned up to it, and said that Judy is his wife, and he shared a picture of their son, Star. So that was when everything, the whole internet was set ablaze, because according to the story, Lover reached out to Edochie, who confirmed that she was not aware of the marriage. She was not aware of their relationship, that as far as she was concerned, she had a happy home before this whole drama started. Judy maintained that Edochie knew about their relationship, that she can deny it all she wants, but she is the second wife. She started tagging herself as the second wife, Ijele. So their Edochie and Edochie relationship kind of ended, because Edochie said she's not going to be cajoled into polygamy. Anyway, that is the nutshell, and they've been battling on social media. They lost their son. It's been downhill in terms of their relationship. Now, Regina, on the other hand, Ned Nwoko, who is a lawmaker, a lawyer in Delta State, he's from Aniocha. He's been married 6 times, and according to the story, he's never been married. He's never married in the customary courts, which is, let's say, the English way of marriage. He married traditionally, and anybody who knows about traditional marriage, you are allowed to marry more than one wife. So that was what Ned Nwoko did. So he met Regina, who was a teenager at that point. It was that was about 5 years ago. It was a whole drama when we saw pictures online of Ned, who was in his 60s, marrying Regina, who was a teen basically at that time. So at the end of the day, Ned Nwoko's wives accepted Regina. Regina currently has 2 children, and people have accepted the fact that Regina is happy in her marriage. I mean, she's been bragging about her husband. She's been flying private jets. Like, she is living the baby girl lifestyle. So people are now saying that these are 2 examples of Nollywood marriages, although Ned Nwoko, he's a politician, while the wife, Regina, is the one that's in Nollywood. So people are always comparing these two marriages. The latest comparison was when Nollywood actress Yvonne Jegede went on Nedu's podcast, The Honest Bunch, and she compared the marriage between Ned Nwoko and Edochie, because according to her, she don't know what the fuss is all about. She's not really close to you, but according to her, she said that the two marriages are the same thing. We are Africans. We know a lot of people who are polygamous. Most of us are, according to her, comes from polygamous home. So she said, I think she was trying to say that May should calm down. She was trying to tell May to calm down, basically, and maybe accept what's the whole situation. So according to her, a lot of people are saying that the only person that they want advice from is Regina Daniels. She said she married for love, but if she had known, she would have married for money, in the sense that she would gladly marry a sixth wife, because Regina is the sixth wife to Ned Nwoko, that she would gladly marry into polygamous home if the money is there. That she married for love, it didn't work, so right now she's prepared to marry for money. Now this whole thing broke on social media. People started analyzing the situation. A lot of people blamed her that why would she side Edochie? She was married, her marriage ended, she knows the pain. Why would she dance on the pain of another woman? This whole thing has been going on. People bashing Yvonne Jegede, calling her a failed actress and all that. So she released kind of an apology to May, saying that she's sorry, she didn't mean it the way that it appeared. That what she was trying to say is the reality of Africans, or in African communities or families, is that we all know somebody in a polygamous home. We all know somebody who married more than one wife. We know people who have different families in different places that the wives were not even aware of. According to her, before we start casting stones, we should as well cast stones in our own family. Anyway, she apologized to May, but May's lawyer is not having it, because according to him, there's a clear difference between Regina Daniels' marriage and Edochie's marriage. Now let me just play that video that he released explaining that fact. Watch this.
If you have a marriage under the Marriage Act and you try to marry a second one or marry a second one, that is a crime. So everybody who wants to marry, a smart person who wants to marry in Nigeria, should ask himself, what do you want? What do I want? What sort of marriage do I want? What sort of life do I want to live? Then you choose which law should govern your marriage. So Ned Nwoko is an intelligent man. He's a lawyer. He's well-traveled. Ned knew he wanted more than one wife. He knew. So he did not marry any woman under the Marriage Act. So he made it clear to everybody that he has right to marry more women. Also, Ned did not Ned is a Muslim, but he did not marry under the Sharia. He married under the customary law of Anyoma people in Delta State, where he is from. So, Ned's marriage to Regina or any of his wives does not violate any law. It does not violate any promise. It does not violate any expectations of monogamy, because he was from the beginning clear that he was not going to be in a monogamous marriage. He wanted polygamy. So Ned did not violate any law. Compared to you, Edochie, you married May under the Marriage Act. In the Marriage Act is very clear. And by marrying her under the Marriage Act, he and May understood they were going into a monogamous marriage. May understood there would not be a second wife. May understood from the beginning that she would be the only wife. Everybody around them, children, parents, understood that they would be in a monogamous marriage. So when you began to try to marry Judy, you was violating the law. He was violating a fundamental promise. he was violating his vow, he was committing an offense. Even if you don't enforce that offense, he committed a crime. So how can you compare the two? You can't. Anybody comparing the two is plain stupid, because they're on a different track. Ned Walker is following his track and his rights on that track according to law. You, Edochie, followed the English track, the Marriage Act track, and then wants to switch. In the middle of the race, he wanted to jump into another track. That is stupid. That's not right. You can't compare them. Now, let us do other things. There is something else you have to deal with when you come to marriage. You're dealing with the issue of fairness. 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 The promises you made to your wife at the beginning of this marriage, are you keeping to it? Are you keeping to that promise? You promised her monogamy, you promised her faithfulness, and you went sleeping with another woman for 6 years in secret, living a double life? No. Ned was clear. Ned told Regina. Regina saw it. Regina saw that Ned was married. And Ned told Regina, I'm going into a polygamy. And Ned told his other wives, according to them, they all understood it. They all welcomed Regina. So there was no deception. There was no fraud. There was no lie in Ned's case. But compared to you was a liar. He lived a double life with a secret woman who was possibly married to another man. That's what we call double-edged adultery. Adultery against your wife, adultery against the husband of the woman you're messing around with. How dare you compare the two? Regina wasn't married to anybody when Ned met her. Indeed, Ned is proud that she was a virgin. And Ned was very candid. Regina was well informed. Even though so young, Regina's mother was involved in the process. So a parental consent and parental participation was achieved.
Now, as you can see, the lawyer was very clear that what you and Julie committed was double adultery, because according to him, Regina Daniels was a single lady when she got married to Ned Nwoko. Yulu, on the other hand, was married to Yume, and Judy, on the other hand, was married to Mr. Obasi. So it's like double-edged adultery that happened. And also, you married May in the customary way, or in court, or in, not just the traditional marriage, but they did the English kind of marriage. So that prevents him from if he marries another person, that is bigamy basically, and he went ahead and did that. He said that even though they're not going to press charges, but that is a crime under the Nigerian law. So anyway, this is the situation at hand. All I'm going to say is, according to what the lawyer said, if you're going to get married and you know that you are you are going to be polygamous, or you're going to have the urge, because I don't think people just get to certain age or in their 40s and then they realize that I want to be polygamy. They've always known that they have wandering eyes or wandering third legs, or so if you are aware of those kind of things, he is saying that you should stick to the traditional marriage instead of dragging somebody's child into a marriage knowing that you're not going to be faithful to that vow. Or better still, if you're tired of one marriage and you're not comfortable with that person, why not divorce that person and move on to the next person? You could have had a conversation with May Edochie to say, listen, there are certain things that I'm not getting in this relationship or in this marriage that I would like to get from somebody else. If May is happy to, because there has to be an agreement for polygamy to work. I understand that in some African homes, the second wife is just thrown at the first wife, and she doesn't have any choice but to accept the second wife. But in this case, these are two learned and independent people. You could talk to your wife to ask for her consent, because you're bringing in another woman and you married her in the court. If she accepts that, fine. If she doesn't accept it, then maybe file for divorce. You guys can separate amicably without all this drama that is going on social media. So I think what the lawyer is trying to say is, before you get married, know exactly the kind of marriage you want. Know exactly what you want your life to look like. Don't go and marry in court knowing that you're a polygamist. Just marry them traditionally, and then at least they know that, okay, once I'm married traditionally and not in court for white wedding or all those kind of things, then there's a possibility that my husband may marry. Or just have that clear conversation. We live in a society where people are happy to marry the sixth wife. Somebody that is 18 married a 60 years old man, and she's happy to be the sixth wife. So have that conversation, have that understanding before getting into it. Will prevent a whole lot of headache, a whole lot of stress. Anyway, that's all I have to say for today. Let me know in the comment section, do you think that you committed double adultery according to the lawyer, or do you think that there was a conversation that was had with you and May just deny anything that's happened, then feminine ignorance, because that is what some people are saying. Anyway, let me know in the comment section, what do you think about this whole thing. Thank you very much for watching today's episode. Today's episode is once again sponsored by DDBC's Wigs. Our details are on the screen. We sell wholesale, retail, and if you want to partner with us, we're happy to do that. Please like and share. Subscribe to my channel so that you get notification anytime I post a new video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.